not, but you could, like I said, he doesn't say it out loud, but he gives you that intense look like, I will kill this giant if I have to. And if that's all it takes is money to bring people back from the dead. I guess I would say something along those lines is, well, what are we doing? Why are we wasting our time? If all it takes is gold to get Tigray back, then that's what we should be doing.
I saw Tigray's body. He was far from the ability of a simple raise dead spell to bring him back. That black pudding devoured most of his body. It would have required something much stronger than what those two village priests had. So calm yourself, my friend.
Okay, out of character. Stupid, persuasive paladins. In character, Greybeard just grits his teeth and lumps off. Doesn't stomp because he's walking on clouds.
Let me actually put your mind to something more in your wheelhouse, my friend. Next time we fight, let us attempt to stay closer together so that we may take advantage of each other's skill set. And then I'll just, what I want to do is make sure that we are practicing at some point in time, fighting side by side, the same way that Coffee and I have over the past year or so.
All right, so you knock them down and I hack them to bits.
Exactly.
Greybeard can get behind that. Like, that's something visceral that he understands. So the practices are about the only thing that brings him out of most of the time he just lumps over between one of the statue's feet and just kind of curls up in a ball there and stares at the wall. But the fighting practice brings him out of it. And he just kind of avoids Ardreth for a few days just because he's jealous and angry.
Yeah, it might be the first time, Greybeard, that all of this time you have blamed the thing that killed Tigray. And this might be the first time where you thought, well, maybe it was because we didn't do the right thing. Not that you know what the right thing would have been, but you have that little itty bitty doubt of maybe it was our fault because we just didn't do enough for the first time.
Sounds good.
All right. How's the rest of you spending your day? So there's some practicing going on and some talking of tactics.
I'm going to clean my kit and play some music and practice that in general.
Okay.
But kind of quietly staying to myself a little bit more than usual.
Okay.
I'm going to spend about half the day sitting right there at the entrance of between like on the edge of the entrance where I'm like half on the entrance, half on the cloud. And I'm going to be fiddling around with the beak and the chain I bought.
Okay. That sounds good.
You know, we're in this guy's house for days on end. Is there no tempting conversation with him at all?
He will come down and talk with you guys. He eats a meal. He tries to eat one meal with you in a given day, but most of the time he's up running the tower and moving it north. He has to be. It just doesn't do it on its own. He has to be up there to do it.
Can we beg him for more information about either the Nightstone or what our possible goal could be once we reach Triboar?
Yeah, while you're eating, you can tell he becomes very evasive, and he says, I've meddled enough, and I originally brought you here to give you that type of information and to help you with what is in store for you in the future. But now I realize because I've meddled, it nearly killed Ardreth. And if I were to try to give you that information, who knows who might die next and for what reason or why. He says, so I'm going to continue you on your your trail, but I can't give you any more for fear that it might cost one of you your lives or all of you your lives if I meddle too much.
There's no other aid you can give us?
He's
Other than
really
information?
afraid. Yeah, he's really afraid of giving you anything, and he has information, but he's not giving it. He's too afraid.
Zephyros, have you ever cut the head off of a chicken?
He looks at you and thinks, no, we don't. Giants don't have chickens.
But you know what a chicken is. It's a small flightless bird, generally eaten by the masses.
Yeah, we'll say he does. I don't know if they would or not. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yep.
Zephyros, when you cut the head off of a chicken, the body still runs around before it falls, unknowing of what it's doing without its head. But it still dies in the end. Now a chicken with its head on gets to see danger and has the ability to evade the danger or take it on. What you're doing to us, Zephyros, is you're cutting off our head and throwing us out there to die. With your information, I would much rather have my head. You have already meddled. You can continue meddling.
Ardreth, perhaps we could persuade him to help us more.
Sounds like a noble cause.
I hear giants are fond of music.
All right. Where did that?
Yeah, and we can say that over the next few days, you guys, obviously the first time you have a talk with him, he's adamant. Maybe the next time you have a talk with him, he's listening to what you're saying as you try to continue to coerce him a little. But there's always a pained look on his face when he looks at Ardreth, and he took Ardreth dying pretty hard, especially since he does feel that it's his fault. And you guys work on him over the next few days, and we'll see if that pans out.
So Jarrel will during one of those sessions he'll kind of catch that kind of that look that the giant has when dealing with Ardreth, and he'll suggest to him that you've given us enough information to be dangerous. Without further information, you put us in more danger, and that will happen again. And he points at Ardreth.
Yeah, and he says to you guys, all of you, he addresses all of you as he's listened to those words, and knowing the future is a very dangerous thing. You live dangerous lives, or you would not be who you are. Your names would not have even been able to be found on the lips of deities had your deeds not going to be great, and you would have to overcome trials and tribulations that are not of the normal small folk. It may be that in the future, even it's your deaths that turn out to fix the ordning. It could be something else that helps, or it could be your actions that breaks it asunder, and the world could be cast into the next war. But you are not the only players upon the board, and you are not the only threads of futures that are possible. You are but one. And as much as I wanted to help you, and I felt that I could, I feel no longer that I can without putting you in more danger than you would have already been in had I never shown up. But do not think for a moment that with the ordinance broken, that you are not at constant danger.
You do not know what is going to happen based on your actions.
No, it has not been decided yet.
So not giving us the information may be putting us in more danger than not.
Yes, it's possible. You could be.
Give us direction, Zephyros. Who should we be looking to take down or to bring into power? Who should we ally ourselves and who should we avoid? You don't have to tell us the future or outcomes. Just give us direction on this journey, on this path.
Let's put you in there. So are you in the room then, Ian, with him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're eating together.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll say this is like on probably the second day. You probably have one more day that you're heading north. And he says this. He says, this is what I can tell you. And this is the only advice that I can give you on your travels. You may or may not, depending on the actions you choose in the future, have an effect on what happens to the Ordning. It could be that you choose a path that has no relation whatsoever to the Ordning at all. It could be that you make some decisions in the future and then you become more of almost like a piece on a chessboard of how the Ordning will be resolved and how that one possible future will be resolved. This is what I can tell you. Be wary of all giants, but judge them on their actions, as not every giant is the same. And as he's saying that to you guys, from the roof, you hear, you've heard flapping before of the griffins coming and going, but you hear the sound of giant wings that make a lot of noise, up at the top of the tower. And you get a glimpse up at the very top of the head of this guy looking down into the tower. Were you guys able to see that?
Is it above the first floor?
Oh, it doesn't show you like the handout I just kind of...
Oh, handout.
Let me do this.
No, I don't see a handout. Oh,
I got it.
There it is.
All right.
A silver dragon.
Run away! Run away!
So a dragon appears. A dragon's head appears at the top, and Zephyros looks up and then immediately uses the disc to rise up. You hear the flapping of the dragon, and appears to be chasing or doing something up there, and the griffins have all flown, and you're not sure what's happening, but you hear a huge noise, and each of you... what is the group going to do?
First of all, how much do we know about silver dragons?
Good question.
Nature roll.
Meh.
Let's see if that pops up. Yeah.
Not Arcana. Coffee.
3.
You know they're one of the types of dragons. One of the metallic types. It's big. It's dangerous.
And silver.
Can be dangerous. You do know that of the types of dragons, it's usually the chromatic ones that are the most dangerous and devastating to civilization, whereas the metallic ones aren't usually the ones that go around and burn villages down and destroy, lands and all that kind of thing. But they are dragons. They're unknowable. None of you had a really good roll there. So nothing more than you would, commonly know of dragons in general. You don't really know what really is different of the silver dragon. You do know Their true dragons are winged reptiles of ancient lineage and fearsome power. They are known and feared for their predatory cunning and greed, with the oldest dragons accounting as some of the most powerful creatures in the world. Dragons are considered to be magical creatures. And when you saw the silver dragon, you could see it shimmer as if sculpted from pure metal. Its face has given a noble cast by its high eyes and sweeping beard-like chin spikes. It has a spiny frill rise high over its head, tracing down its neck to the tip of its tail. You might have seen a little bit of that.
Can we tell how big it is from down here?
Yeah, it's the size of a large creature. Like, it would probably be near the size of Zephyros, but with wings. So, like, if him and the Cloud Giant grappled, they would be kind of similar in size, pretty close in size.
So, would we know if this was like a wormling or like a grown adult?
Nope, you don't know.
And
if favored enemy was dragon, maybe.
Maybe next time. Is like his head sticking through a window or something?
It was that hole goes all the way up. That dotted line goes all the way up to the 3rd floor. So you saw him through that by looking up, but then he's disappeared as it seems like he's up there doing something to the griffins, and Zephyros is moving quickly up on his levitation up to the 3rd floor.
Does he look panicked or just?
Yes.
And we know that dragons and giants hate each other? Or at least he told us
there has been wars between, dragons and giant kind.
Is that a wooden table? The big...
Yes.
And a stone chair?
A very big table and a very big chair, yes.
Well, okay. I'm going to shout at Zephyros. What should we do?
He actually doesn't hear you with all of the commotion that's happening. You can see the disc has risen to the 3rd floor, and he doesn't hear you with all the commotion. You can hear the flapping of wings. You can hear him casting a spell. You hear the noise of a breath weapon going off, of some type of attack, and he's definitely fighting up there.
Copy's casting mage armor.
I run under the table.
Right then. Snatch up my axe. Where's that pixie dust?
Oof.
Do we really want to engage a dragon? He did tell us not to interfere.
Nice.
Let me move him. Sorry.
Guaranteeing like some critical roll, that stupid pixie dust is going to put you right to sleep.
I agree with
Falls
Coffee.
out of his pocket. I'm going to slide over to the wall over here.
We can wake him up. All we have to do is hit him, don't we?
I have no idea. But I'll draw my bow at least while I'm on the ground.
I have my bow out.
Same here.
So the giant's asleep?
No. That pixie dust has got some... There's just like a 1 in 10 chance it's going to knock you right out.
Yeah.
Jarrel, what's a passive perception?
14.
Okay. And Greybeard, passive perception.
Oh, up at 9.
Okay.
I'm like behind one of the legs of the table.
Oh, okay. Yep, they did not roll good enough. All right. As most of you are looking up, Jarrel, out of the corner of your eye, and actually, nope, Greybeard, you don't see it. The blue curtain that sits right here flutters enough to catch your eye, and you see coming through the curtain. Some shapes that seem to be almost like cloudy or misty-like shapes.
Oh no.
That are coming through here?
Yeah. And I'm putting them on. Hold on. Here we go.
They look like
find the right
heads
one.
and teapots.
So they start floating through, floating through the curtain. And you have seen them enough time to be able to take an action. They appear, it's a vaguely humanoid shape, but it's as if it's a humanoid made out of mist or cloud or smoke, kind of that, maybe like a fog cloud. Slightly wettish kind of vapor kind of cloud, but in the shape of a humanoid figure.
And I don't know what they are, right?
No, you're not sure at the moment.
Okay. So Jarl's just gonna kind of alert everybody, and say that we have intruders and halt. What are you? What do you want?
You can tell that's your action.
So when you say action, you're talking about surprise, right?
You get. I'm saying you get one free action at this point.
One free action. And I can't take that action after I talk to them?
They're not saying anything to you. One of them looks your way, so you get the impression that whatever it is, it heard you, but it does not respond.
So can I perceive their disposition if they're, hostile or, if they're doing anything aggressive?
So far, they've just floated into the room.
Hey, Finn, we killing these things.
All right, so Charles is gonna
I'm waiting. Hold on.
right here and just stand right in front of this guy. And his action will be dodge.
Okay.
Can I say I've been hiding behind the thing?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check so I know what number you're at.
Don't think shit, probably. Yep.
And then they're going to get an action now before the rest of you. And then everybody can roll initiative now. They're going to get an action, and then we'll start at the initiative order. So
I'm guessing so now, Greybeard.
initiative.
Oh my god. Oh.
Nice.
That's terrible.
See, I'm capable of rolling well. Just not when it's important, I guess. I rolled 3 fucking 17s. I don't think I've rolled a 17 in like my past 3 games.
Don't waste them.
Don't waste them, right?
Well, I rolled like a 12 and a 5 earlier.
All right. So their action is they float right through you, Jarrel. And they move to the center of the room.
Is the platform down?
No.
Okay.
And that would be that's their action. Now the rest of you, this has all happened in like a few seconds. And now all of you can go ahead and you can roll a Coffee, you can roll a Arcana check. You might have recognized what's going on.
Did they, when they passed through me, did it look like they changed form when they passed through me, or did
No.
they just maintain their form?
Yeah, it just went around you.
Oh, they went around me, not through me.
No, their whole form went around you, just like the vapor went around, went right past you, and yeah.
Okay.
No, okay. And then the only other person, Ardreth, actually, you go ahead and roll a history. Maybe this is something that you would know about through your travels and the stories you've heard.
Frickin' bards know everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better roll. You remember a story, or you remember hearing about the effects of something called gaseous form, and you think that's probably what this is. And now that you're looking at them, they appear to be dwarfs.
So they're smaller gaseous form?
Yeah, you're picking out the image of them a little better.
Okay.
And it appears like, it's like 6 dwarves that are of gaseous form somehow.
So, pardon the expression about dwarfs and gas, but Greybeard, it looks like 6 of your kin have come.
My kin aren't made of fluff and stuff.
They're
Upon
gaseous dwarfs.
Upon hearing that, Coffee's gonna speak in Dwarvish. State your business, friend or foe.
And you see one of them kind of... let me see which one it is. The names are all... Hold on a second. It's one of these. This one. Okay. That one looks at you like it understands what you're saying. And as you're standing really close to it, you almost see... The facial expression is maybe give me a perception check. Let's see how good, because it's kind of hard to read the gaseous form of what's going on. So let's see what you pick out with a perception check. Yeah, so you can tell it understood what you said, but it does not reply to you. So you still have your turn. You're at the top of the round.
I will send it a message so that it can reply to that with the same statement in Dwarvish.
Okay, so you're going to cast a spell. Go ahead and put it in chat so we can see the people watching can see the spell you're casting. And for when Coffee casts this spell, what does it look like? Is there anything that the rest of the players would see?
No, it's very... you can't see his mouth moving because of his veil. And he makes a motion with his hands and twists something on his belt.
So it looks at you and it hears. So okay, so go ahead and give your message. Say your message.
I repeat, state your purpose, friend or foe.
And it looks at you for a second and then pantomimes a little bit. Give me another perception check. See if you can read what it's trying to pantomime. It starts pantomiming something to you.
I don't understand any of this.
And you're not sure. It's trying to communicate with you, but you're not
Dwarf
getting
charades.
what it's saying.
Is it a movie?
Two syllables, 2 words.
So that was your action. You still have a bonus action or movement at that point.
That was all of it to cast that.
Okay. They're up. Oh, and okay, so that's good. You see it turn. It makes a motion, and the others begin to float up. So they rise up as if they're going to the second floor, but they're moving pretty slow. They're not moving fast. So they get about, I'm going to say they only get about, how tall did we say the ceilings were, to remember? Let me go back and look.
I think you said 100.
100 feet up.
Oh, it's 100 feet up. Yeah, so we're going to say it gets about, the 5 of them get about 20 feet off the ground. They're moving up towards the second level. The one is still kind of near you, Coffee. And that is their turn. They just move, and that's it. Ardreth's up.
They had the opportunity to attack me, and since they didn't, I'm holding.
Ardreth is up.
I'm going to hold my action as well and watch as they float up.
Okay. What are you going to trigger, though? What has to happen for you to do something, though? Give me a trigger. And what is that action going to be?
They take some violent action towards us. So either start floating back down or some projectile comes out from them.
Then you'll shoot your
Yep.
longbow? Is that okay? So you have your longbow
Yes.
out then. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got your trigger. That's good. Ian, you are up.
Same.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my action, aiming at them until they take a hostile action towards. I'm specifically looking at the ones that are floating up. If they take like a violent action towards us or Zephyros, I'm going to attack.
Okay. Greybeard is up.
Well, Finn had kind of said we don't know yet whether attacking, but they're going upward. I guess I will say, are we killing these things or not? Pixie dust! And I move towards whoever had the bag of pixie dust.
Coffee has it on his possession at the moment. And the other one really looks at you when you come up. And tries to pantomime to you something also. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's one of my strong suits.
Oh my god, both of you. Wow.
Yeah, and he realizes that you are not understanding him, and then just kind of the one thing you do get is a shrug, and he starts to float up too. He's further down from his other guys, but he starts to float up. Okay, so bonus action or any further movement?
I interact with the pixie dust pouch on Coffee's possession.
It depends where he has it.
He attempts to interact with my pouch.
Yeah,
Stowed-
where is
stowed
it?
in your
Is it
copy.
stowed, or how do you have it?
It's on my belt
Oh,
near
okay.
my crotch.
Well, if that's where I gotta go, I gotta go.
Tavern brawl time.
Yeah, so he reaches for the pouch. Is that what you're going to do then? You're going to reach for the pouch then? Because, I mean, that's all you
Correct.
could do is pull it off of his belt.
Right.
All right, so you're going to roll a reaching for the pouch on Coffee. So I guess a regular...
Sleight of hand?
dexterity, maybe?
I'm going to oppose with acrobatic.
Yeah, I think he's going to make a dexterity check to try to grab it, and you can oppose with acrobat or athletics. All right, you got to beat a 4. Yeah, he kind of jukes out of the way, and you get the impression he doesn't want you to grab it from his belt.
I slap his hand.
He needs a drink first.
How dare you, sir?
It's gonna get ugly fast.
This is so good. All right, so that was your action, your bonus action, or your free action. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Move over to Finn. Finn's up.
He is going to shout as loud as he can again to Zephyros to warn him of the 6 cloud-shaped forms coming up through the floor towards him.
All right. And he hears you and begins coming back down to the second floor. You still hear the wings flapping on the outside of the tower, somewhere up top. Anything else? Well, you haven't done anything yet, but
Actually, you know what? I'm going to put my bow away and then ready up my shield and my hammer.
okay. That moves us to Jarrel.
So Jarl's going to move forward, and he's going to take off his cowl and try and contain one of these guys within it.
Those guys are 20 feet off the ground at this point.
Seriously?
Yep.
Well, I guess my options are limited. All right, then he is instead going to. Can I have said that I haven't made that movement?
Yeah. You would have known they were too far up.
Okay. So I'm going to. Has anybody gotten a decent look at what the dragon?
No, just that little bit through the hole, but no, you'd have to be outside the tower to get a view of it.
All right, so he's going to go outside the tower.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Just to see what's out there.
Yeah, and up towards the top, you see flying around the top in a tight circle, a silver dragon. And what it's done, what it seems like it's done is it's chased off the griffins, and it's making sure they don't come back, and it's flying around the tower.
Okay. I don't think I can. I would, if I yelled, would they be able? Well, I guess they would all be able to hear. Yeah, I guess that's my turn.
Okay.
I'm going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to dodge as my action. If anything attacks me.
Okay. All right. And we'll be at the top of our order. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call tonight's session. And then we'll come back next Monday and figure out what is going on with these gaseous formed dwarves, silver dragon flying around the tower, Zephyros trying to fight that off, and our players not quite sure what to do yet. So I want to
had too much Mexican and beer last week.
Yeah. Want to thank all of the everybody for joining in the stream. Want to thank our players for doing a great job tonight. And we'll see how this turns out in next week's. If you want to see any of the previous episodes, you can check them out on the VODs and the Twitch channel, or you can go to YouTube and watch the videos that I've uploaded there. Also, MC Colonel posts the player view from his perspective, so you can always check it out from his side of things. And we hope that everybody enjoyed our session, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll put the character screen up as we go out. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.